My name is Sean Ross. I'm a gold certified producer, songwriter, and engineer. I have hundreds of millions of streams on songs that I've either produced or co-written, and also have hundreds of placements throughout TV, have done commercial campaigns, have done all types of sync work over the last 10 years. I'm the co-founder of Sync Money with James K, and today we are going to talk about music libraries. So, there's going to be two main types of music libraries out there. You're going to have exclusive, and you're going to have non-exclusive. Now, these things seem pretty intuitive to what they mean, but I'm going to kind of break it down here. So, with both of these types of libraries, it's going to be taking 100% pub share, and they're going to give you 100% of the writers to keep. This right here is what you're going to eat, and then you're going to split what's called the upfront sync fee. So, and you also get 50% of the sync fee. Now, for the most part, this is going to be the same over here on the non-exclusive side, but there's some key differences. First and foremost, in an exclusive library, whatever music that you get into that library, they have the exclusive right to be able to go and pitch that music for syncs. You can't have it floating around in other music libraries or even pitch the music yourself. And one of the biggest caveats is that you cannot release that music, or that music cannot already be released. On the exclusive side, kind of like one of the biggest pros of this, if you get your music into an exclusive library, is they're going to have better relationships. They're going to have the relationships that can probably get you bigger syncs. You know, think of like a movie trailer, maybe songs into film, big commercial campaigns like an Apple commercial or something. Like, the reason that brands will go to exclusive libraries is because they know that you can't find that music anywhere else. It's only going to be in that library. So those libraries can in turn charge higher upfront fees, because instead of just going to a non-exclusive library where, you know, 6 other libraries might have that same song in it, they know that this exclusive library is the only place that you can find this song. So naturally, they're going to be able to go and get higher fees for it and place it in some bigger spots that are more competitive. So I think the simplest way to break this down is that exclusive libraries, big screen stuff, think, you know, movies, commercials, and non-exclusive is going to be more along the lines of cable TV, reality network TV, really kind of smaller scale things. So even all the way down to something like YouTube content, TikTok stuff, TikTok campaigns, kind of just stuff that's going to not actually demand a fee up front, that's going to be anything, you know, more than 45, 50 to $100. Like, it could be micro sync stuff. And non-exclusive libraries are where you can actually kind of clean up if you have hundreds of songs. So non-exclusive, the only way that you're going to make a good amount of money is if you have volume. You need a lot of songs for a non-exclusive library to really generate you some serious cash on a yearly basis. If you just have, you know, 25, 30 songs in your catalog, like a non-exclusive library is kind of pointless. Mostly because the royalties on the back end are not going to be really anything that's going to amount to much, you know, and it's like you're going to get songs that start getting scattered throughout cable network TV, maybe some reality TV show placements, but those back end royalties quarterly could only be tens of dollars or hundreds sometimes. And if it gets into like a prominent scene, then maybe you could see a couple $1,000s in back end royalties from songs that go into songs or instrumentals that go into a non-exclusive library. If you're somebody that's like a producer that is going to be like, you know, you make like 5 beats a day and you're not like so precious about it, I would recommend put like 50 beats or top lines into a non-exclusive library every single year and just flood it. Just completely flood it. Just make sure that you're still sending in high quality stuff and that it's not just garbage. And if you have a few hundred tracks in a non-exclusive library that are kind of racking up TV placements, you'll start to see those pop up on your BMI or ASCAP PRO statement. And those can start to amount to some serious money. But it really is, like I was saying, it really truly is a volume game. Now, it's slightly different with an exclusive library. A lot of people that are in exclusive libraries are going to be artists that specifically are making music for sync. And a big reason is because of this right here, which I pointed out, is you can't release this music. An exclusive library is going to have full control over the music that is in that library. And so it's not going to be allowed to be on DSPs. It's not going to be allowed to be on Spotify unless they choose to put it out themselves and distribute it. So unless you're a sync artist, in so many terms, where it's like you're making a huge section of your catalog just solely dedicated to sync, and it's just going to go into this one exclusive library to try to go hunt for big sync placements, then I would say stay away from an exclusive library. If you're an artist that, say, has songs that are on Spotify, you are, trying to build your artist brand. You are constantly putting out music. You're trying to post stuff on socials. You're trying to build you up as an artist in your career as an independent artist. The way to go, from what I've seen, is on the non-exclusive route, find what's called a retitle library. So let's talk about what this is all about here. So with a retitle library, the idea is that you can have the main title of your song. Let's say your song is called Love Myself. Now, when you submit your song into this retitle library, this non-exclusive retitle library, what they're gonna do is give it a new title, something they come up with, that they can register with BMI, ASCAP, or CSAC, whatever PRO it is. They're going to register the retitle and only collect the publishing of the retitle. So your OG version is going to be left alone, or your OG title, aka your song that you already have released, is all yours. Which I think this is ideal for artists that don't want to, pretty much just give up like all the control of their music that they're trying to go release and try to get fans with and try to build a career on in their catalog. Because if you put out a song on Spotify yourself, you still get to keep all of those royalties. You have the full ownership of that title. But the retitle is where you're going to start splitting things up. Retitle is shared. So, in essence, what the retitle is doing is you can submit all of your tracks in your catalog if you want, even ones that you have released, even stuff that maybe you're trying to pitch on your end to maybe get a songwriting placement with an artist or something. You can still do all that. And at the same time, you can have that catalog working in sync, and whatever music library is pitching those retitled tracks, they're only going to eat what they kill. Meaning they're only gonna be collecting revenue off of the syncs that they directly get for you. And that's what I see be the most ideal situation if you're an actual artist that's releasing music. Now, you don't have to worry about this so much if you're just a producer that's not that precious about the titles, and maybe like, you make 5 beats a day and you're like, I'm gonna put a whole bunch of these beats into this non-exclusive library. They can title it the same thing, the same name as my beat, whatever. Doesn't matter, because you're not going to just like be releasing those beats on Spotify and you don't have any plans for really releasing them. You'd rather just put them right into the sync ecosystem and let them start moving around and getting cable TV placements and stuff. So hopefully this gave you guys a quick little overview of the different types of libraries. We'll kind of go back into it. You have an exclusive library, you have non-exclusive, and then you have non-exclusive retitle library. These are kind of the three types that you're going to see, and I want to just tell you what the terms are usually going to be. It's going to be they get 100% of the publishing. This is for all of them, by the way, exclusive, non-exclusive, and retitle. 100% of the writers will go to you. So in essence, 50% of the publishing revenue is going to go to you. The other 50% is going to go to the music library. Key differences, once again, if you have music into an exclusive library, that music is not going to be able to get released by you. That music is now theirs in so many senses of the word. They have full control over it. You're not allowed to release it on DSPs, on Spotify. Like, you just have to let them do their thing and hope and pray that they're actually going to go get that music some big syncs. As you can see with the silver screen I have here. Exclusive libraries, you're only doing that if you think that that library is going to go get you big money syncs. Non-exclusive libraries. This is where you can flood it with a whole bunch of shit. Make sure that it's all good stuff, by the way. But you don't have to be as precious about this because you know that you can still release these songs. You can still go put these songs in other libraries. You can go try to sync them yourself. You can do whatever you want with these songs. But they're going to be living in this non-exclusive library as well. And if they have good relationships, you're going to see your stuff start popping up on like reality TV shows and Bravo Network and VH1, just all the basic stuff. And, you know, if it's a really good non-exclusive library, you could all of a sudden catch a big sync. It just kind of comes down to their relationships and who is going through that library of music on a consistent basis. And retitle library right here, this is for the artists that are releasing music. You're an independent artist with a career trying to build, but you want to go find a place that can sync the songs that you already have released or are planning on releasing. Retitle library is great because you could still keep all of the ownership, all of the revenue from your original title. It's all yours. But the retitle, once again, they only eat what they kill. The retitle is what's going to get split up to these splits above, right here. So hopefully you guys got something out of that. I'm trying to kind of demystify sync for, you know, the broader community of independent artists, make it so it's not so, you know, just mysterious, I guess. And if you guys got something out of this video, I would love it if you subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be posting videos all the time about stuff like this. Leave a comment if you can, and just stay tuned for the next round. All right, see you guys on the next video.